Hello everyone. So after spending hours and hours on all the characters, today I am going to tell you guys my opinion on the javelin playstyles and hopefully make it a bit easier for you to pick the right one at launch. Let's not waste time and start with the ranger. This javelin is like a combo of everything. Movement is good, abilities are also very helpful, and it is kind of a medium armored javelin. Doesn't go down as fast as the interceptor or the storm, but it doesn't last as long as the colossus. As a ranger, you will find yourself at medium range, throwing grenades to prime your targets. You'll be shooting missiles and supporting your team with some awesome shields. Not only will you look like Iron Man, but definitely feel like one. Let's go over the primer, the detonator, and support abilities. The ranger has 4 primer abilities: Inferno Grenade, Frost Grenade, Venom Darts, and its melee ability Shock Mace. As for the detonator abilities, we have Frag Grenade, Sticky Grenade, Sicking Missile, Pulse Blast, and the ultimate Missile Battery. Marks targets and unleashes powerful tracking rockets which can be used for single target damage or for killing adds. The ranger can support the team with 2 shields: Bulwark Point, which blocks incoming damage while the shield is active, and Muster Point, a shield that increases outgoing weapon damage for you and your team while in the shield. As for the class specific ability, when you trigger a combo on a target, your melee does considerably more damage to that enemy. The way the ranger is built makes it a perfect choice for any player that wants to have everything in one javelin. You can support your team with some awesome shields, do damage, prime targets with your grenades and melee ability, or make massive plays with your ultimate on single targets or clear out tons of adds. You have a lot of combo potential, so that also contributes to getting your ultimate ability back faster, so you can keep unleashing the deadly missiles on your enemies and simply make your team's life easier. So for all you freelancers looking for a javelin that can be used in multiple ways, the ranger is the way to go. Now if you love being a ninja, dashing out damage and getting out, we have to talk about the interceptor. Not only is the movement really good and super fast, but the abilities are also very interesting. You can prime the targets with the following abilities: Venom Bomb, Cryoglaive, Detonating Strike, and Venom Spray. As for the detonators, we have Spark Dash, Tempest Strike, your melee ability Bladed Daggers, or the ultimate Assassin's Blades. As you activate the roaming ultimate, your javelin becomes invulnerable and can do some awesome damage to your targets. For the support abilities, we have Target Beacon, marks the enemy and until marked it takes increased damage, and Relic Cry, removes all status effects from all nearby allies. The class specific ability is super interesting. Every time you get a successful combo with your melee ability, depending on if the target was frozen, was poisoned, or was on fire, you will get an aura of the same element. For example, if your enemy was frozen and you melee it, you get an ice aura. So the next few seconds your melee hits will also apply freeze. I think this class specific perk is the most unique out of all the 4 javelins and is extremely fun to use. With the interceptor you will be spending most of the time playing close range in order to utilize the auras. So if you enjoy a melee playstyle where you jump in, do as much damage as you can and get out, you should definitely consider this javelin. Its support ability, Target Beacon, can also be super helpful to burn bosses. You do need to be careful while playing this javelin, as you can go down really quick, so you have to be aware of your surroundings at all time while dashing out some amazing melee DPS. Interceptor feels super quick and is tons of fun. However, I think that this javelin is gonna be a bit harder to get used to than the ranger, for example. You have to really be good with the movement on the interceptor, but once you master the way of the ninja, it's definitely fun. So for all of you freelancers looking for some close range fights, the interceptor is for you. And for extra motivation, just a thought, but maybe one day we get swords as our class specific weapons. Now that would be amazing. Now let's take a look at the Storm, a very unique javelin that is extremely helpful in any kind of team setup. Let's go over the primer abilities. We have Ice Storm, Ice Blast, Living Flame, Frost Shards, and Shock Burst. As for the detonators, we have Lightning Strike, Burning Orb, Glacial Spear, and Fury Strike. Now on the Storm, its ultimate ability, Elemental Storm, is pretty unique, as it works both as a primer and as a detonator, and at the same time does a lot of damage. The way the class specific ability works for the Storm is, if you trigger let's say an ice combo on a target, other enemies in that area will also be frozen. So it's like a AoE buff for your combos. You have two support abilities. First one is Wind Wall. You can stand behind this wall and it blocks incoming damage for you and your teammates. And the second one is Quickening Shield, that decreases your ability cooldowns for you and your team by 20% while standing in the shield. So as you can see, Storm can be extremely useful in a team. It is a javelin that can stay in the air way longer than others and control the battlefield from the skies with elemental abilities like lightning strikes, fire and freezing enemies. Why would you not want to play that, right? With this javelin you can hover in the air and support your team not only with some insane damage, but you can always prime targets so everyone can do the combos faster and easier. The ultimate is absolutely beautiful. Your freeze, fire and lightning abilities strike the enemies one by one, both priming and detonating at the same time. Super useful not only for crazy damage but also for combos. Can be used on single targets or a bunch of adds. If you like to control the battlefield from a distance with some amazing looking and deadly abilities and animations and using long ranged weapons, or simply want to be the glass cannon of the team, then the Storm is for you. Keep in mind though, you have to watch that health bar because you can go down really fast. Finally, the Colossus, the javelin that has more armor and health than any other class, but it has no elemental shield. Instead has a physical shield you can use to block incoming damage. But the shield does go down quick, so you need to get used to it. It is the more tankier javelin, but this is not the classic tank from MMOs as you would expect, or at least that's how it was in the demos. However, the damage it can provide for the team is way more than I expected. Let's go over the primer abilities real quick. We have Firewall Mortar, Shock Coil, Flamethrower, and Venom Spitter. As for the detonators, we have High Explosive Mortar, Lightning Coil, Siege Artillery, Railgun, your melee ability Heavy Smash, and your ultimate ability Siege Cannon that can shoot up to 3 shots if you time it right and can do pretty good damage to adds or single targets. You have awesome support abilities like Battle Cry to take all the enemy aggro so your team can do damage without worrying about getting hit. Or you can use Shield Pulse, which can decrease incoming damage by 33% for you and your teammates. The way the class specific ability works is when you land a combo on an enemy, all nearby enemies are also gonna take the combo damage. This can be really strong against a bunch of adds, and in general Colossus has really nice crowd control and can clear out groups of enemies really well. It is also the only javelin that can use some super heavy weapon types like grenade launchers and flamethrowers. And who doesn't love flamethrowers? When it comes to movement speed, Colossus is the more slower javelin. Also, you cannot dodge in the air like the others, but you can put up your shield and it pretty much turns you into a meteor. So, if you're looking for a javelin that has a more tanky feel to it, that can also do really good damage and supports the team by taking the enemy's attention, control adds, use some of the most unique weapon types in the game, or simply be on the front lines of the battlefield, this javelin is for you. So which one will you pick? Which one will you master? They are all fun and unique for sure, so it's gonna be up to your playstyle. Let me know which javelin is your choice. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I hope this video was helpful. If you're enjoying the content on the channel, a sub and a like is super appreciated, guys. It really helps a lot. Thank you once again for all the support, and as always, have a crazy beautiful day.